Good day, everybody. It's Andrew here, and welcome back to my channel. We have huge updates today as Kyrsten Sinema is flipping out regarding stimulus checks for seniors being in this next stimulus package. So let's discuss the details, but before we jump into it, do me a quick favor, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and share this channel with anyone who you think might find this helpful. This is a community for seniors and a community for those who are disabled. And my job here is to be a voice for you to make sure that President Biden is keeping his promises to take care of Social Security benefits, take care of SSI and SSDI, and basically just do everything he said he would before people voted for him. I mean, he promised to do stimulus checks for seniors. He promised to make sure that no senior on Social Security, SSI, or SSDI would be forced to live in poverty. So this is our community, and thank you so much for being a part of it. Now, if you really want to support my work, subscribe to my second channel. The link to that is going to be in the comments of this video, and that channel is going to be a community for seniors as well. It's going to be more of a fun channel where we play bingo live. You can play bingo with me. I'm going to be on camera with a live chat, so you can see me on camera. We can talk in the comments. Everybody can talk with each other. We're going to play casino games, play the lottery, so it's going to be a fun channel, and I'm going to be giving away some stimulus checks as well. So subscribe to that channel. The link is going to be in the comments of this video. Okay, let's jump right into Kyrsten Sinema. What the heck is going on? She just held an interview with CNN discussing her thoughts on the next stimulus package, which Chuck Schumer is trying to get done by the end of December. Now remember, Bernie Sanders is trying to include stimulus checks for seniors in this package, and we got a funny situation with Kyrsten Sinema because for a long time, she said that she supports seniors, she supports Medicare and Social Security, but now she has a problem with seniors getting stimulus checks, and she has a problem with lowering prescription drug costs, and even with expanding Social Security. Now, this is back when she was campaigning back in 2018 to be the senator of Arizona. She said that she is the only candidate for Senate who refuses to cut Medicare and Social Security or raise the retirement age. Raising the retirement age means you have to wait longer to actually get your full retirement Social Security benefits. So when she was running for senator, she made it seem like she really supports seniors, right? So there's a lot of seniors in Arizona. I think we know Arizona being a warm state, a lot of seniors move there just to retire. So trying to represent her state, she said, hey, I support seniors, I support Medicare, I support Social Security benefits. And now she's upset that Bernie Sanders is trying to include a stimulus check for seniors in this package. She also was upset that President Biden was trying to lower prescription drug costs, although it does look like they've come to a kind of an agreement on that. And it looks like she's kind of against Social Security benefits being increased. We don't have confirmation of that, but based off of her history here, where she doesn't want to do more stimulus checks, she didn't want to do more unemployment stimulus, she doesn't want to spend more. She only wants to give tax cuts to the rich, basically spending on the rich. Kind of seems like next year, when President Biden tries to do his next stimulus package with Social Security increases in it, that Kyrsten Sinema might not be on board for that. So it just goes to show, folks, that when politicians are running, it's so frustrating because when they're running, they say one thing and then they do another. She said that she supported Social Security benefits. She said that she refuses to cut Medicare or Social Security or raise the retirement age, making it seem like she would be a voice for seniors as well. But now, honestly, it's looking like quite the opposite. And she recently held an interview saying that she won't commit to voting for Biden's sweeping social safety net expansion, aka the next stimulus package. Now remember, we've talked about it in detail. This stimulus package has a lot for seniors. It does have a lot. It's a lot of little things, but they add up. First of all, of course, we have the stimulus checks for seniors that Bernie Sanders is trying to include in this package. That could be anywhere between $800 and $2,000. So as things develop, please subscribe. I'll keep you posted as soon as we know what happens. Will Bernie Sanders succeed in getting stimulus checks in this package, or will Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin get their way and have them excluded? We'll have to wait and see in the next couple of weeks. But in any case, there are already a lot of other things in this package. They have the Medicare expansion, which is going to cover hearing care. They're also putting in a law that allows Medicare to negotiate prescription drug prices with pharma companies, which will drastically lower the price of prescriptions, not only for Medicare, but for the patients as well. They're also putting a cap on Medicare Part D out-of-pocket expenses, so no one will spend more than $2,000 per year on prescription drugs when they're on Medicare Part D. So there are a lot of things in this package for seniors. There's also more funding for affordable housing to provide more Section 8 vouchers and provide more funding to build more affordable housing to begin with. So there's a lot of things to be happy about. But of course, the main thing we want is the stimulus check. And of course, we also want Social Security benefits increased as well. But we've already gotten notice that that's not going to be in this package. Increasing Social Security won't be in this stimulus package, but President Biden said it could potentially end up in next year's package, the 2022 stimulus package. So there's a lot of things developing, folks. Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin are the only things standing in the way of getting stimulus checks for seniors and getting basically the entire stimulus package approved, which is frustrating because it seems like they don't understand. Joe Manchin is from West Virginia. Kyrsten Sinema is the senator of Arizona. And there's a lot of seniors in those states, and it almost seems like they don't get it. It doesn't process in their brains that there are millions of seniors in their home states struggling. Millions of seniors who need another round of stimulus checks. Millions of seniors who have seen inflation hit them the most. Because remember, folks, the highest things that get hit with inflation are things like medications, which seniors spend more on than anybody else. Then we have general inflation with the cost of food, groceries, housing, utilities, everything skyrocketing. And seniors need help. And it's almost like they're tone deaf that people in their state need this help. It's really surprising, especially like I showed you earlier, when Kyrsten Sinema campaigned like she would be an advocate for seniors. So this article is titled, Arizona and West Virginia would win big from Build Back Better, aka the stimulus check package. Are Manchin and Sinema paying attention? Do the two senators who control the fate of the stimulus package value corporations and billionaires over their own constituents? Their own constituents are people that live in their state. So, it's starting to feel like it, folks. It is really starting to feel like it. And Kyrsten Sinema recently held an interview flipping out about the fact that she's not sure if she's on board. She doesn't know if she's going to vote for the next stimulus package. She doesn't know if she's okay with stimulus checks for seniors, with stimulus checks for SSI and SSDI, with expanding Medicare to include hearing care, to lower prescription drug costs, to lower the out-of-pocket costs that seniors would have to pay out of Medicare Part D copays. How can you not be on board with this? This should be a universal belief, guys. And let me know in the comments if you agree. Maybe it's just me. And people ask me, where did I develop this passion for seniors and for those who are retired? And obviously, a lot of it starts with my grandparents. I lived with my grandparents half of my childhood. And then in my early 20s, I worked in a nursing home and taking care of seniors. First, I was playing bingo as an activity aide. Then I became a nurse assistant. And just developing these friendships and these relationships and seeing how they're really not being treated with dignity. They're not given benefits enough after all of the taxes they've paid. I had so many seniors tell me, gosh, I made good money my entire life. I paid into the Social Security system, and now they're giving me a measly $800 a month. After they promised to give me a retirement of dignity, after paying my entire life into the system. For me, this is something really personal that I've developed over the years, and it's honestly a blessing to be a part of this community. So I just want to say, guys, thank you so much. Being here means so much more to me than it does to you. It brings me so much meaning to be an advocate, and honestly, I'm hoping that eventually Congress will listen to our voice and follow through on what they promised. Now, this interview with Kyrsten Sinema is really, really important because Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin are the two things standing in the way of the stimulus package. So it's really important to see what she has to say and what it's going to take to get this stimulus package done. So with that said, folks, I'm going to leave you with this clip. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video as we continue to get more updates. Remember, Chuck Schumer wants to get this stimulus package done before Christmas, so there's a lot of updates to come in the next couple of weeks.
You have met directly with the president, perhaps more than any other senator in the Democratic Party, maybe aside from Joe Manchin. What lessons have you learned? What kind of negotiator is the president? And is it hard for you to tell the president, no, I can't do that?
President Biden served in the Senate for a long time, so he knows how negotiations work. And he also, during this process, called me repeatedly and asked me to continue working with Senator Rob Portman and others in the G10 to find this bipartisan agreement, and showed a real commitment to wanting this bipartisan achievement, which we've accomplished. And I think the big challenge in front of us is for us to all work together in an accountable and transparent way to actually implement this law.
Schumer has said he wants to vote on Build Back Better, that broader social safety net bill, before Christmas break. Are you prepared to vote yes when that comes to the floor?
Well, I don't set the schedule for the Senate floor, and I'm always prepared to vote, and to vote for what's right for the interests of Arizona. I personally believe that the best way to create legislation is to be thoughtful and careful so that we're crafting legislation that truly represents the interests that we want to achieve and that creates a benefit and helps people all across Arizona and the country. So that's what I'm working on right now.
So it doesn't sound like you're quite a yes yet on the version that just passed the House of Representatives. What changes do you want to make?
Well, folks know I don't negotiate in the press, so I'm not going to do that with you.
I know one of the things that you made clear very early in the negotiation with the president and your majority leader was that you were not going to support raising the corporate tax rate a single point. Did you feel like at any point they weren't taking your comments seriously, given the fact that they were promising for a long time that this was going to be part of the bill?
You know, I don't really spend much time thinking about what other people are saying publicly. What I really want to focus on is how to get to a solution and solve a problem that matters to everyday folks in Arizona. And people back home in Arizona know that I am committed to ensuring that any legislation we pass retains America's competitiveness. So I won't support any legislation that increases burdens on Arizona or American businesses and reduces our ability to compete either domestically or globally. And so I want to make sure that if we are crafting legislation, we're doing it in a lean and efficient way that's fiscally responsible and doesn't impact things like inflation or make our businesses less competitive.
So you've been criticized from progressives who say you're standing in the way of what we've been campaigning on for years, whether that's repealing the 2017 tax cuts, whether that is changing voting rights laws. What do you say to progressives back home who are disappointed in the job that you're doing here?
Well, I'm serving in the exact way that I've campaigned on over the last near decade that I've served in Washington, D.C. And when I ran for the United States Senate in 2018, I told the folks of Arizona what I would do, that I would come to the Senate, try to find bipartisan solutions, be an independent voice for Arizona, and always put everyday people in Arizona first. I would say that's exactly what I'm doing.
One of the ways that you negotiate in talking with your colleagues is that you're pretty forthcoming about where you stand on something. We talked about the corporate tax rate. Why do you think it is that your leadership sometimes overpromises? Do you think that that's a problem for voters and for the Democratic Party?
I can only speak for myself. But what I can say is this. I would never promise something to the American people that I can't deliver. And I think it's not responsible for elected leaders to do that. The concern I have is that, first, it's not very honest. So you should just be honest. That's something my parents taught me when I was very young, and it stuck.
Some of your colleagues, some of them progressives, think that you're kind of an enigma, that they're not sure where you stand on any one issue while you're in the middle of a negotiation. Do you think that that's a fair criticism of you?
I think I'm very direct, and I am very upfront when I talk to folks about what I believe in, what I can support and what I can't support. So I think there are some people who just don't like what they're hearing, and maybe they use other terms to describe it. But folks in Arizona know that I've always been a straight shooter and always will be.
Would you be willing to vote with Democrats to hold up the president's mandates?
Well, I'm not going to tell you those things. What I will do, though, is make sure that I'm voting in the interests of Arizonans. Now, folks back in Arizona know that I'm a strong supporter of this vaccine. I encourage all Arizonans to also get vaccinated so that we can return to the lives that we love and be able to share those important moments of both joy and sorrow with our family members.